No, no. Yeah, hi guys. One of the
Hello.
things, if you're doing video editing, there's no such thing as time. You get locked up. I was trying to do another video for the members, and if Amy hadn't woke me up, I was busy editing that video, and then I would have been like, "Oh my word, what have I done?" But we got Mander today. He's in here.
Yeah, I saw Amanda Bird, so that's already worth it waiting. Well, we haven't waited too long.
Lucy, come on,
So our
Luce.
first chatter is here. Welcome, Jocelyn Treasure.
Hi, Jocelyn. Come here. Come here, cuteness. Come on. Come on. Come on, baby. I don't start that. You know what?
Oh, is it
She does.
our Gustus?
She does this a lot. It usually takes me two hands. Come here. She likes coming out, but she doesn't. Well, she likes being out. She doesn't like coming out. Let's put it that way. She would be upset with me if I didn't get her out. But here you go, sweetness. Yeah, it's easy for you to say hi, Bob. Bob, I can't take you in there. You don't do well with one bird in that room, let alone a whole bunch of them. Come on, cutie. I know, Bob. It's the Jasmine bird. Jasmine.
Yeah, she greeted
Yeah.
us with a beautiful jazzy jasmine song.
Mander's in there, so I will take you out later because if I take you out right now, you'll cause a problem, probably. Actually, it isn't so much him. Excuse the noise, but they're watching TV. Actually, they're watching movies. I don't know what's on, though. It's kind of just putting whatever it wants on. We're new to the Amazon Fire Stick. I junked the Apple TV. Come here. Ever since we had that internet problem, it hasn't been working right. It takes like 5 minutes to start up, and after that. Cecil, are you ready? Come on, Cecil. I was just editing the section in the video where Cecil says hi.
What's up, Parrot?
No, I'd love to take you out, but I know better. Let's see. Lorelai can't come out. KK can. Come on, KK. Come on, big boy. Come on, KK.
So then we have Kristen Zio and Kelly Sue Cockatoo here who says, mine like to watch Elmo the musical. That sounds fun for a
Ugh.
bird. We also have Eleanor in chat who's saying hello, everybody, or everybody, actually, everybody.
Oh, well, I made it in here, didn't I? You can see.
Now
I
we have
didn't.
seen Don running.
This is Bob's handiwork from last night. I meant to get in here and get this.
Oh
That's
my gosh.
yeah. That's Bob. That's just one night. Just
Yeah.
and we're talking.
He's
He comes
just
out for about.
one busy Triton.
He comes out for 45 minutes, and the whole thing, everything turns into little pieces of toothpick. But I don't have to buy toothpicks. You know, a lot of these work actually pretty well as toothpicks. You just have to look around till you find one with the right end. Yeah.
Okay, so take a breath, and we enjoyed a view on some really cute birdies. Lucy being a funny girl.
Hi, Liz.
Victoria Miller from Facebook says she cannot hear us. So I'm not sure. I think I can hear Dawn. Can anybody else not hear us? I think on YouTube one probably can hear us. Okay,
Okay,
on
on
YouTube,
YouTube,
echo.
echo.
Dawn,
Dawn,
why am
why
I
am I
echoing?
echoing?
Dawn, now
Dawn,
there
now
is
there is
really
really
no
no
sound.
sound.
Testing 1, 2.
1, 2, 3. Oh, now we are back. I just muted myself because of the annoying echo. But now I can hear you, Dawn, so I guess everybody else can hear you too. Say
That's
something.
something. Something.
Thank
Where?
you.
Where? In what movie is that a great line? Say something. Something. What movie is that in?
There's something in
Come on.
that's in a movie.
I mean, I don't have to like punch you in the chest to get you to remember the name of the movie, right? Or drive,
Uh,
or drive,
unlike
drive
you,
up on
I
your lawn,
don't know every line by heart.
or drive up on the lawn.
Oh, I
No,
hear
no one.
slight whine. That's excellent. So the birds are back. So sorry, guys, for that technical issues. And I hope we are now available for everybody.
I hope so. Well, we should know when there's a problem in one place, it usually just goes from there all over the place, right?
Yeah. So thanks, guys, for all the
Okay,
feedback.
what's the name of the movie where someone says say something and the response is something?
Is it Fight Club?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay, then don't punch me next time in the face.
No, no, no. It would be in the chest, and it wouldn't be with a fist. It would be with a needle.
Matrix?
How about Pulp Fiction?
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, well, that's why. Oh, yeah, you need to see that movie. That is great.
Mhm.
That's the best scene. I mean, I like the movie, but that's the best scene in the movie. No wonder you
Oh,
didn't get that.
Eleanor guessed it right. She guessed it in chat. Excellent. No, I haven't
Yeah,
seen it yet.
yeah. Put it on your list. That's a good one.
Hmm.
It's a Quentin Tarantino film, so you should see all Quentin
I
Tarantino films.
know it's with Uma Thurman and the other guy. Sorry.
No, the one from Disco Inferno. He's in
Is it?
there.
No, it's not Travolta, right?
Yeah, it's Travolta.
Is
Travolta's
it?
in it.
I know it's basically he's basically in my head as the guy who is the elderly lady who can dance on Hairspray.
And
I
then
know
the
he's
other,
also in that other musical when he's younger, but I know him most I think from Hairspray.
yeah, he's good in that movie.
Oh, he's good in basically probably all of his movies. Just one of a kind.
Yeah,
Oh, Airplane. That was meant as a movie, I think, from Eleanor. Also,
yeah.
there's a spoof in Airplane. Oh, I thought when Eleanor was just saying something, but no, she was saying Airplane. Sorry,
Well,
didn't get it.
they had all these movies, that involved airplanes, and so they came up with a spoof called Airplane, and that's great. That's one of the funniest movies of all time. It's got a lot of sight gags in it, but there's a scene in that movie where this Indian guy is listening to the main the lead character in the movie talk about his own life, and so he's pouring gasoline on himself and getting ready to set himself on fire because it's so boring. What are you doing?
Hi,
What are
Shug.
you doing? Such a good bird. Such a good bird. Such a good girl. Yeah, that's a good
Probably
girl.
complaining why we are doing a live stream today.
Oh, she's happy because I got like just ran around and got him out so fast. She was happy about that.
Oh, that's a sugar compliment.
She doesn't like me to dawdle when it comes to getting everybody out.
Yeah,
I don't have
Daddy
I
was
don't have
running.
I don't have Pippa in here because Pippa tends to torment Xander. Same with Snowball doesn't do that anymore, but as soon as he sees Snowball, he goes nuts. Starts trying to
Oh,
get out of
Eleanor
there.
is just writing, even the sound of the plane is a joke because the movie is playing a propeller noise, but they are riding in a jet. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, it's funny.
And Kristen here says she hasn't seen most of the movies, but also doesn't have a lot of time to sit still. Well, that's often the
I
case
don't.
with cookies.
I don't either. The birds watch the movies. I don't. I mean, I don't know how many times they've seen Pulp Fiction, but they probably know it by heart. No, I don't have time to watch movies. I listen to podcasts, and when I have to listen to something on YouTube, I do, but I don't have time to actually look at anything. What are you doing down there? You all buried under there, huh, boy? Huh, KK bird? So we're going to talk about feet today. These things. These things.
Wait, you
Prob-
plan to do a serious talk on, for me, it's Saturday evening, okay?
Yeah, I'm
Interesting.
going to talk. Talk about feet, but the number one thing you have to know about this, just informational, is that when you're cutting their nails, if you're going to try to get them to give you one nail to cut, they can't do it. They can only open and close their foot like this. That's the only way they can do it. They can't go like this. Okay, that looks kind of weird to them when we do that because they can't do it. They have no need to, but they can pick things up with their feet, which most animals can't do. Dog can't do that. Cat can't do that.
So welcome to Buktiya Shah, saying beautiful family, love you so much. Thank you for that. Look, Shuggy, you have fans.
Sugar bird. Pretty girl. Sugar. Pretty girl. Pretty. Well, you know you're a pretty girl. Yeah, I've been trying to find just going to do a more general chat than I usually do, but I'm trying to find a local vet that will see the birds, and so I had my AI of choice make up a list and with the phone numbers and give me a brief overview of each one. There's a vet in town that says he sees exotics. I was told there are no vets that see exotics in town, so and they do house calls, so I'm going to give that one a call. So that'll be good. I just, if I need something done right now, it needs to be done right now. I need a vet I can call that can come here, which they do that, or to prescribe the medicine we need. So, yeah, I don't look these things up anymore. I just tell my personal AI go out and get this information for me. So, what used to be a half an hour of searching on the web to find all the vets, look them up, get their phone numbers and their addresses, and the basic information I can now do in a minute and a half. So, what are you doing up there? What you doing? Does a great job of analyzing poop too. I was pretty sure about the poop that turned red here. It looked like just dye from the food, but when I took a picture of it and handed it over, it was like, oh yeah, this is definitely dye. And if it was blood, it would have streaks in it, which I knew. But it diagnosed it 100%. So, what are you doing down there? Are you still digging? This is a mess. It usually takes me about 15 minutes to clean up the wood in here, and I didn't get to do that because I was busy with video editing, which is kind of like Videodrome. It sucks you into the process you're doing, and you lose all sense of time. Which is, hey, where are you going? Hey, Cecil. Cecil.
Oh, Cecil is doing the peachy thing. He's upstyling. Thanks, Cecil, for
Mm-hmm.
that. That's too cute.
Hi,
Oh my,
Cecil.
that was the original peachy move. Upstyling
No.
from the couch during a live stream or during an
Mm-hmm. It was.
episode.
It was exactly what she used to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably why I noticed it because I used to look for that all the time.
Yeah, it also was the same side of the couch. Cecil,
Mm-hmm.
good guy.
Want to come up, Cecil? You have to step on the shoe if you want to come.
That was
What?
excellent entertainment.
Bob's toothpicks are poking me on the leg. What are you doing? Yeah, he got. I mean, these are toothpicks from yesterday. Look at this pile from Bob. He did that in 45 minutes. Oops, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to throw that at you. I didn't. Would you like a toy? Are you going to come up or bite my shoe? I can't tell which. I can't tell which. Well, apparently KK likes having all the broken wood here so he can nest, but yeah, I don't know how long it would take Bob to do a whole two, say a 6 foot 2x4, but I don't imagine it would take him longer than an hour. But I'd have to engage him that long. The small pieces he picks them up and shreds them, but I don't know how what he'd do with the big one. He might just ignore it. I don't know. What are you doing there? Huh?
Mm-mm.
What are you doing, big guy? KK bird.
So welcome, Jem and Jamie. Good to see you here today. Oh,
Hey,
you
that you're
guys
gonna
are so sweet.
don't chew on my shoe. Don't do it.
So let's maybe introduce the birds of the room. I think most people who are here right now have already seen Mr. Cecil Burb and KK.
Yeah, there's
They are with Don.
KK. Cecil. There's Cecil. Hi, Cecil. who I caught saying hello and hi in that video I was editing. That's why I was so caught up in it. There's Sugar. Sugar Bird. Come on. Don't need to eat my shoe. If you want to come up, that's fine, but otherwise don't. You're being a pest. No. It's an elevator, not something to chew on. Hello? Earth the Cecil. He's got that look. Come on. Come on, wake up. Earth the Cecil. Mander back there. The biggest bird here, but the biggest chicken.
He's
He's just a
so
little
cute.
boy. In his mind,
Yeah.
he's just a little boy.
Just a little Mando boy.
And Jasmine, the athlete. Got two athletes here. Jasmine, she does gymnastics, and Snowball is not in here with us right now because it scares Mander. But um, he does plays with frisbees. He throws them to you too. You throw them to him, he catches them, and then he throws them back. And then Lucy girl, not in here are Romeo, which I haven't been able to get him in here. He comes out every night, but he won't. He comes in here when it's just him and I. But if there's another bird in here, stop it! You quit with my shoe. Come here. You stop eating my shoe. Stop it.
Yes, Liesel, I have a better job for you. How about saying thank you to Eleanor, who just donated 10 pence in the chat?
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, Eleanor. See if I can find the video. There we go. Thank you, Eleanor. Say thank you. Sugar says I only say hi. She might actually be able to say something else, but we've
Mhm.
never heard her do
The message with it was hi for peachy friends.
it.
Yeah, we know that Cecil always was a peachy friend. Still is.
Yeah, their feet are, they're called zygodactyl. They have two toes pointing back and toes pointing front, which the animators for the movies Rio and Rio 2 didn't know because they only gave them three toes. It just shows how intelligent they are. But they do have opposable digits, which means that they can hold things like she's doing. So you can walk in the morning and you could have a bird sitting there with a spoon eating out of a bowl, and it might look at you and say good morning. Bob says good morning, and he only says it in the morning, so he understands time in that respect, the time of day. He probably doesn't understand it's about morning. He doesn't get that part, but he knows that there is a certain time of day when it's the right time to say that. You're not going to do that again. You're not. Come here. Come here. What's up with you today? What's up with the big boy? Sometimes he gets like this and he needs to be petted. Yeah. You're not being petted? Is that the problem? Mm, mm, Looks like it. Feeling out, huh? Having a Boo Radley day, are you? Now, feet are pretty tough, but you still have to watch that they get different kinds of perches and you're not always standing with their toes in the same position. So, different size perches because they can get calluses on their feet. Snowball has a callus on one side I have to work down with a Dremel occasionally or a file. No, it's a callus because it's been tested. Dr. Jenkins did the test on it. It's not a growth. It's unlikely that they would get something like that, but it can happen, so I had to test it. Just a callus. But they can get debilitating problems with their feet if you don't give them a lot of different perches to stand on. One of the reasons Dr. Jenkins suggested using 2x4s for the bigger birds. Then they can trim them down to the size they want. Plus, it gives them something to work their beaks on. Lorelei stopped doing that though. She has it just the way she likes it, and she doesn't mess with her perch anymore. So, but she's got rope perches and other things to step on, so she doesn't always have the same opening to her feet. And you can't put lotion or anything on them. If you do put anything on their feet, it has to be Silvadene. You have to get that from the vet. So, because some of these silver type products that they have things in it that will make them bleed if you put it on their feet. Don't put hand lotion on their feet. You're asking for trouble. Their skin, and even though their feet look tough, they can't handle it. Right? And then their toenails. You got to trim those, but because they don't have the things they need to keep them down in captivity. But I leave them a little longer. I've had people say, they should have their nails trimmed. I keep them right around 85 to 90 degree angle because they go around perches. It's not like they're walking on the ground. Not like a dog where you want a short nail. You don't. It's part of what they grip things with too. I leave them a little sharper than most people would because they don't like to be poked. Okay, nobody wants to be stabbed by the nails. Lorelei, hers never overgrow. I just take off that outer piece because otherwise when it sticks to you, it's like stepping on a cactus. But hers don't overgrow. What are you doing up there? She's still holding her toy. Usually she's dropped it by now. Jasmine is sleeping. Nothing new there. Mander is just being quiet, hanging out. What you doing down there? Huh?
Cutie.
Hi, Cecil. Hi, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he needs a little more attention today. These guys are real attention sponges. So. Dr. Jenkins said that he runs the Avian and Exotic Animal Hospital in San Diego. I mentioned how cuddly they were, and he goes, "Yeah, I wish they weren't." Because people think that they're just little toys to play with, and they're not. Quite intelligent.
Mm-mm. Too intelligent most of the time.
Exactly. Yeah, good point.
And they have
Cecil,
really
go.
distinct needs, which are sometimes really different from humans since they are used or built for being in big flocks. So they don't get stressed by a lot of attention, also like probably other animals do who are used to be loners, but not these guys. They want attention because usually they have it all day long from different flock members.
Makes it difficult living with humans because humans get caught up in other things, and if you ignore them too much, just like with Cecil when he was trying to bite my
Mm-hmm.
shoe, he has a certain look on his face when he doesn't feel he's getting enough attention. And so once I petted him a bit, now he's just preening normally.
I
And he
mean,
was
some
not.
people have great talents to actually involve them in everything they do so that it's safe for the bird, but also entertaining and they get something done. But that requires a lot of planning and time. So one really, when one wants to have a bird, that, yeah, you have to give for that.
Yeah, it's not the easiest thing, and you really should read up on these guys. The best general book, just like a starter book. There are no starter birds, but as a starter book, Parrots for Dummies is a good start. Um, the best book on the subject of parrots is by Lucier, and it's what are you doing? Oh, okay, he's looking at me and wants more attention. The Manual of Parrot Behavior. It's more of a scholarly work. I mean, there are articles in there by a lot of different veterinarians and people, biologists, and that kind of thing. But that is the single volume. If you can get through that book, you'll have a basic knowledge of what they need, um, which you won't get from any book that's just a starter overview. I mean, Barbara Heidenreich's got some good books too, but again, they're not in depth. So when you run into something like if people will have a male and a female, well, if they don't get along well, and even if they do get along well, in captivity, it's quite common for the male to start attacking the female and even killing them. Doesn't happen in the wild. We've never seen that in the wild, but it does happen in captivity because they're, yeah, it's like you put a whole bunch of people in a room and see who comes out, in a month. So there's a whole chapter on mate aggression in there. So if you read that, you can see signs. Now, you shouldn't really have males and females around each other. You're better off having. Well, these are two males down here. I have to watch these because he'll start stepping on. Get off of him.
Yeah,
Get off.
he stands already on KK. That's
Yeah,
typical umbrella behavior. They like to pile up.
yeah. You don't get it when I stop that, but he doesn't necessarily like to have you sitting on him. I mean, he's okay with it for a while, but that's the look he gives me right there when I've done something he doesn't understand. He doesn't get
Mm.
it. He looks at me that way. You're a good boy, Cecil. Cecil's a good bird. And then, of course, people choke when they find out how much that book is, but it's around 125, 110. Varies, but because books are priced on the basic price, and then how many people are going to buy it. So if you have a book like that actually goes into depth, you don't have many people, especially in the United States, that will read it. You know, unfortunately, our schools here don't give people the skill to read things like that. But fascinating. You can learn a lot. Obviously, I've learned a lot because most people can't sit in a room with a bunch of cockatoos. But we'd have more in here if it wasn't for him. But he was gracious enough to come out today, so I deferred. I'll get them out later, but I deferred to his fears. He doesn't trust Pippa, and Snowball just scares him. So KK used to run after him, but he doesn't do that anymore. He's learned to deal with the Moluccans. So haven't you? Hmm? Part of it is he sits quite frequently. He sits under Sugar, and Sugar just doesn't cause him any trouble. So he's kind of like a cheetah. A cheetah. You can walk up to a cheetah and pet it on the head. It's not even a wild one. You could do that without a problem. But don't run fast and try to get away from them because they'll attack you. Right? This is what happens with him. you've got a bird like Mander who gets scared and starts running around in fear, then he'll go after it. That's what he does. And he's not a predator, but maybe related to that sick bird response that they have. If there's a bird that appears sick, they will try to chase it out of the flock. And for good reason, obviously. I mean, if you look at it as you don't want to have a sick bird because it could possibly infect everybody else. So it seems to be built into their personality to do that, but it's one of those innate behaviors. What you doing up there, kiddo? And this is the usual behavior. You have these two will usually be busy. The rest of the birds will be kind of resting around until I put the phone down, and then they all get crazy. So yeah,
So let's greet Eliza Wentz, who has joined our chat. So hello,
hello.
happy to have you here today. She is excited that we are discussing bird feed. They are awesome.
They are. It's bizarre when you look at a young one. You should never buy a baby, but I was young and dumb like most people. I mean, when you first start dealing with these guys, you don't realize what you're doing. I thought, yeah, Aaron, it seems like everybody who has a bird thinks this. Maybe my bird needs a companion. Yeah, I knew that Chloe couldn't lay eggs because she'd been neutered. She had been laying too many eggs, one right after another. So I brought in Lorelei, the little baby, hadn't even fully feathered yet, and I definitely don't recommend doing that. But you have to live and learn. Anyway, Lorelei would look at her feet. She'd stare at her feet and go like, "What is this?" This big, because their feet are huge when they're little, and she had trouble getting used to walking on them and using them. But now she can quite easily pry your button away from your shirt, take the button off your shirt, and you don't even realize she's done it. So quite agile with those. Even though they only do this, she can still use them almost as well as we can. And you see them, you think when they go to sleep, sitting on a perch, you think, well, they got to hold on to that. No, they don't. They can lock their feet in position. So when you see them and it looks like they must be holding on, they're not holding on. Their feet are locked there. They have a built-in locking mechanism so that they can just lock their feet down. You can find that out sometimes when you have a bird that doesn't want to let go of a finger, because it can just tighten it down and lock it in position. Then you got to pry your finger out. That happens with KK if he gets a little too close to me, which he tends to do sometimes, and I have to pry him off. That's just a natural nesting behavior, but they use their feet for making their nests.
Mm. Kick, 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 kick.
Between that beak, which they call them a hook bill for a reason. If you watch them move around, they use that hook on that bill all the time to move around. So they grab onto something and then they move up. It's kind of like watching a mountain climber with the rope. They use their beaks for that. Between the beak and those feet, they can pretty much get around wherever they want. They walk kind of funny because they have those large feet, but I walk funny too. So They can do some funny maneuvers with their feet. They can do a slide, and we watch Mander sometimes that he'll slide down a rope using his feet. It looks like he looks like he's doing a Michael Jackson routine. You know, he does that. Moonwalking. Talking about you, Mander. He's looking right at me, and that's the thing. Their eyes seem like they're one color, but I can tell where they're looking. So once you've been around them, it becomes obvious. Unless you're one of those people, like in here we go, quoting a movie again, the one with Deborah Winger and Hannibal Lecter. I'm sure you wouldn't like me saying that, but at one point she looks at him because he says he doesn't like to look at the sights, and she says, "What do? Walk around with your eyes closed?" That sometimes seems that some do because they never catch on. I knew this couple that when their female bird was overstimulated, they would say their bird was sweaty bird, and they had no idea that the bird had been hyped up emotionally. You know, they've been touching it too much. So they put a label on it, but never bothered to find out what it was. They were shocked when I told them what it was, but you can't learn everything about these birds by just being around them. That's for sure. It's a combination. I'd say it's about 70% study and 30% in observation. What are you going to do, Shug? You're going to change your behavior now. What are you going to do? Stretch your wings? Yeah. What's up? What's up, big girl? What's up, Sugar? Sugar bird? Ah, Sugar the bird? Sugar the bird? Hi, baby. Hello, Sugar. I thought you had to go to the bathroom. There's a thought. That's the only room in the house where you can go to it while you're there. What are you doing?
So thank you, Jem and Jamie, for donating $10, wishing us all a happy Saturday.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Right, Mander? He says, I don't know. There's another bird close. I'm getting scared. That's Cecil. What are you afraid of? That's Cecil. He's a little crazy, but he won't hurt you. Doesn't have a toy. He doesn't have a toy, so you don't need to get scared. He's on alert, though. That's his. He's looking around, just kind of, look, where can I go if I have to move? Well, he was just going
We
up and
just have
playing.
a funny post by Eliza, who is asking, does anyone else have the impulse to scream alongside their cockatoo? It's cheaper than therapy. That's true. Well, sometimes I scream together with Mander, or more or less not directly screaming, but doing jungle sounds and stuff like that. Right, Mander? Do you have sometimes a tele auntie who is watching you? Little tele babysitter. And he's chatting with me back and forth, and the other birds are somehow annoyed about it or jealous. I don't know, really know. It's at least funny how they behave when just the phone is in the room but not Dawn.
Yeah, that video I'm editing right now is when I had the ham radio in here and I was actually plugging in. I had to plug 6 different locations into it while I was sitting here, and that was a blast. At one point, there was a section of the video where I'm saying, "No, you can't have it. No." And Cecil's got his crest all the way up, and his beak open, and he's chasing the phone. It was more of a game between us than it was me actually being like I was upset with him. I wasn't because I pet him right after, but I mean, it was he's like, "I'm going to get it." No, you're not. It took about 2 hours, but I did get those 6 numbers plugged into it. So I thought it would be fun because I'd get interaction from the birds, and it's something I needed to get done. I could have done it in probably 20 minutes, but more fun to do it with them and hear those people talking on the radio. And he's like, "I'm going to get that guy wherever he is. He's in that box. I'm going to get him." It got him to talk though. That was the fun part when he said hi and then hello. Just because I had that out, and he was trying to get to it. He had a reason to vocalize, so he did. Sugar, you want your beak pat? She probably won't let me do it if I'm holding the phone this way. She doesn't trust me because she knows it only lasts for like a minute or two when we're live streaming. She doesn't understand about live streaming, but she understands about when I'm holding the phone like this. So yeah, their feet are pretty amazing, but you got to look at the pads. They have pads running down their feet, and you got to make sure that those things don't start overgrowing or don't look funny. You need to examine their feet regularly. These guys are used to me poking and prodding them, so I do get them to a vet. The vet's like, it's easy to deal with this bird. Yeah, I do it all the time.
So Eleanor says in chat, Peach would have a long chat with the radio people. I think so too.
I think so too. Well, you know what's funny about that is there's no reason you couldn't let her do it. As long as if you're the control operator, it's like being the TV station, right? For the radio station, you can let somebody else talk on the radio. It's just that if they do something that's against the rules, then you're going to it's a felony to use it improperly. But having a bird talk on it is not prohibited. Oh, you want to be the first one to do that? Is that what you're telling me up there, Mander?
No, I think he's concerned with because a white bird is back there.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, the mere fact that there's another bird around, these birds are scary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially
Mander,
for
you're a
women.
bird. You're a bird,
Yeah,
Mander.
Eleanor says Peaches was always polite, so I think, yeah, no problems with Peaches.
Yeah, I
just
could
an
just.
just an ongoing hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, she would have had a kick doing that.
Mm-hmm.
She loved talking to you on the phone, you guys. So
Oh yeah, that was always funny.
she understood that there were people that she was talking to, and you were her friends. She wanted to be friends with everybody.
Oh yeah.
Anybody who didn't like Peaches, you can't trust them because
Yep.
Peaches wanted to like everybody and get along with everybody. So
So
Coco
who is
got along
back
with
with Mander? Is that Cecil or
that.
KK?
That's Cecil. KK is sitting right next to me.
Uh, Mander?
He'll get up and
Cecil
roam
is
around after a
usually
while.
good with you. He also doesn't have a toy yet, so.
Yeah, this is something too with those feet. You got to keep the feet busy as well, and got to keep them exercised. So you need to give them foot toys, things that they can pick up on the bottom of their cage. We need cages with bars down there so the poop falls through, but it does make it hard because you have to give larger toys so they don't fall through the bars. But you can make a toy that's large. I'll do it with a piece of leather, and then I'll put a couple of large pieces of wood on it so it won't fall through, and then I'll attach smaller toys to it. Cecil he likes those toys that are like nuts and bolts. He likes those. He'll take the bolt off of it. You put the bolt on tight. He takes it off, and then he plays with them separately at the same time.
Mhm.
He'll hold one in his foot and the other one in his beak.
So we have a question from Jim and Jamie about Mander. How is Mander doing with the water bottle?
Doing with what?
Water bottle, the liquid bottle.
He has just started drinking out of it, but I still have to give him a bowl with his food because he dunks his food.
That's Mander.
Mm,
He likes to make muesli in the morning,
he does.
and he
So I still
also
have to give.
likes to have his beak somehow in the water.
Well, I think he figured out you could drink from it when the day he got mad because I took his water away and he started beating on the bottle and water went everywhere. He figured out that water comes out of it. So if you leave it for a couple of hours without a bowl in there, he drinks out of it now. And that's
Mm.
another thing about those water bottles is that you can use a grease pencil so you know if your bird is drinking water.
And not just
So
bathing.
yeah, you don't know how much they drink unless you use a water bottle. So. I'm not going to say it was easy because now I'm down to one bird that won't drink out of the water bottle, and I wonder who that is. I have no idea who that is. She is just stubborn, aren't you? Aren't you
Hmm.
stubborn?
Oh, stubborn sugar bird. Oh, Shuggy. She says, I have a reputation.
The only way I can get her to drink out of it is if I put it up to her face. I hold it, and then she'll drink out of it. Otherwise, she just ignores it like it's not there.
That sounds like she's AVAing you.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
It's
I'm
like,
used
I
to.
drink it, but you hold it.
Well, when I was a kid, I was the butt of all the jokes. So joke's on me, isn't it, Chug? You're such a good
She's a
girl.
smart lady.
Yeah, if they could understand English instead of just cue with certain words, I could explain to her that the water in the bottle is clean. The water in the bowl is not. It doesn't take a genius to figure out the water is sealed in the bottle. There's a tiny surface area where they touch to get the water, but if you have a bowl, it's open to the air. So all that water is open to the bacteria in the air. And if you don't think there's a lot of bacteria in the air, um, take something. Um, what's the best color? Probably light gray. Keep it wet for a day, and if you can't see it right away because but if you rub your finger across it, you don't even, it doesn't matter what color it goes. If you're just going to rub your finger on it, you'll feel a little slime. That's the bacterial growth. So, and that happens in a day. So if you change the water 4 times a day, you're still getting too much bacteria in them. That's not me. That's Dr. Burkett speaking. I agree with him 100%. But it's the fact that water is inside of a glass container, and then there's a tiny bit of the surface area that gets touched by their tongue. That's it. And they don't naturally have much bacteria in them. They're probably the cleanest animals on the planet. Well, I wasn't talking about you. Was I talking about the KK bird? I'm gonna work on that scissor beak this weekend, don't I?
Oh, Eleanor has a question. She
Yeah.
says, was that an extinction burst when Manda beat the water vending machine?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was an extinction burst. I don't have my water bowl. I'm gonna beat up everything over here trying to get it back, and then he saw the water come out. He ended up learning that because of the extinction burst. He learned, yeah.
Hmm.
If you want
Things you
to,
can be killed when you have too much extinction bursts.
if you want to see an extinction burst, and you're a person who has kids, take their toys away from them. Especially if they've got a phone or some kind of gaming device, take it away from them. You'll see an extinction burst. They will do everything in the world to get those things back. Almost. Right, big boy. What I got one from him this morning. I put a foot toy in there for him, but he wanted a hanging toy too. He hasn't been as interested in those lately. He's got 3 in there. 2 of them are still in good shape. One of them he tore up. He wanted that replaced. So he got on the front of his cage and started screaming at me. Didn't you? You started screaming at me, didn't you? You did. That's his way of telling me I need another toy. He doesn't have to yell if I'm in the room. I can tell just by looking at him, but if I'm in another room, then he has to scream at me. Don't you? Yeah. All right. Well, it's that time, folks. What are you laughing at? What are you laughing at? Yeah, that's it. Now they're starting to get vocal. Mander's moving around talking. Cecil's
Mhm.
playing.
The
KK's up
early
on my
afternoon
leg,
break is
chattering.
over, so
Yep.
now they can start their business. Oh, someone is talking. Hey, bird. KK.
Would you say KK? What kind of bird? Good boy, KK bird.
I understood. I like the KK. We do too, KK. We like the KK.
Yeah, he was quite the runner when we first got him chasing Mander. Mander was afraid of him because he didn't know who he was, and he started running, and then KK went after him. And I'm jumping off the couch, or well, it wasn't a couch at the time. I didn't put these 2 chairs together, so I jumped off, got down there, separated them. But you don't do that anymore, do you? No, you're a good bird. You've always been a good bird. Yeah. Thank you, Amy, for moderating. Thanks, Eleanor, for being here, and thank you all for coming.
Yeah, we were happy to have you here today on our replacement appointment since Wednesday. We had internet issues. This time not from the German end, though.
Trying to make sure I didn't miss any questions here, but it looks like I didn't. So,
Yeah, thanks for stopping by. And then Hope to see you on Monday. Bye,
Yep,
Jack.
we'll see. We'll see on Monday unless something else weird happens. Thanks for being here, guys. Thank you, Amy. Thanks, Eleanor. We'll see you.
Bye-bye.
Science knowledge only adds to the excitement, the mystery, and the awe of a flower.
Evidence is evidence. It's public. Everybody can look at the evidence and assess it, and eventually, if there's enough evidence, come to the same conclusion.
The Chloe Sanctuary for Parrots and Cockatoos, a nonprofit charity dedicated to the empowerment of captive parrots and public awareness.